Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a wrap up of all the books that I finished reading in April. I'm sorry that this is a little bit late, but I am sort of swamped at the moment with 2 end of year essays in for the 12th of this month, so I've been focused on that. I know that I did say I'd be doing a review of The Glittering Court, but unfortunately I just don't have the time to do that at the moment. I do have one, however, on my blog. It's muchadoaboutnovels.com. So please check it out if you're interested in that, but I will be covering it in my wrap up. So I haven't read a massive amount this month. I've read 6 books. That's mostly because I came into BookTube in the middle of the month, so I wasn't really reading a huge amount until then. And I started doing it and then I sort of took off. So this month, in May, I probably will be reading a lot more. So the first book that I read, or finished reading to be more accurate, is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I will link to my review of this. Fantastic book, really enjoyable, very interesting if you're into classics or just academia in general, university life. Maybe if you're into mysteries you might be into this. I gave this 4 stars, I really enjoyed it. The second book I read, which was also my first review, I will put a link in, but it's not a very good review, as I have said before, apologies, was A Darker Shade of Magic by B.E. Schwab, and this is a fantasy parallel world story. I really liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. There are elements that I didn't like, that I wasn't super excited about, but I did like this, and I have also bought the sequel, which is A Gathering of Shadows. As you can see, A Gathering of Shadows is reasonably thicker. So, it looks almost like twice the length. Well, it's not quite twice the length, but so I will be getting around to that at some point as well. I do like the way that the two of them sort of match up in terms of covers. So the third book I read, I didn't actually review in any way, but it is Woman on the Edge of Time by Marge Piercy. It's a sci-fi novel in a way. It was written in the 1970s. It's a hugely important feminist piece of writing. It's about a Mexican-American woman who starts getting visits from someone from the future who keeps taking her into the future to see this idyllic world. And Connie gets locked up in a mental asylum, and it's about her dealing with that going into this other world. And she also sees a different world, an alternate world, where that does not come to pass, and it's a horrible world. She has it within her power to completely change the course of history, and she's the most disempowered woman, so it's incredibly potent. It's really, really good. I gave it 4 stars, really enjoyed it. Some people might find it a bit dense, but I really liked it. The fourth one I read this month was The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. So I reviewed this on my blog, as I said, link in the description, and this is it's been marketed as a fantasy book. It's not a fantasy book though, in my opinion. It's more like it's more historical fiction. It's not actually historical, it's a different world, but it's obviously America and England. And this young woman who is a countess and pretends to be her maid so she can go into the Glittering Court, which teaches young lower class women how to be wives to men in the new world and gives them the opportunity of a new life, and that's what she wants. And she has to keep her identity a secret, and falls in love obviously with someone who she shouldn't be falling in love with, and it takes quite a big twist at the end. If you're into something that is all about glamour, I wouldn't recommend this book. I don't think it's in that direction, but I did like it. I gave it 3 stars, and I will be reading the next books in the series when they come out. The fourth book I read was Charlotte Street by Danny Wallace. This was recommended to me by a friend, and it is a comedic, slightly romantic story. If you think of David Nichols, Danny Wallace is quite similar. I thought it would be more romantic, but it's sort of not like that. It's more about life and struggling and finding out what you want to do in life. And it's set in London, and it really is a London-centric book. I live in London, I live in East London, and before I lived in East London, I lived up in North London, which is where this book is set. I live further north than where the book is set, but I still really identify with it. I really like the characters, and yeah, I definitely think I want to read more Danny Wallace books. I gave this 4 stars. And the final book I read this month is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. It's the first in the Lunar Chronicles. I know that loads of people read this and really enjoy it. I had never read any of them, and I was paired with someone for a May buddy read, so I did actually read this in April, but we decided we wanted to read this, and it's, you know, it's sort of a cyberpunk retelling of Cinderella, but it's notably different, and I loved it. I got through it really quickly, and I immediately bought the rest of the series, which I'm going to read at some point, so I'm really excited about that. I gave this 4 stars. It's the first book by Marissa Meyer that I read, and I'm really excited by it. So those were the books that I read in April. I'm currently reading The Darkest Rising by Susan Cooper. I'm really enjoying it. I should be finishing that either today or tomorrow. It depends. As I said, I've got my essay, which I'm hoping to finish one of them today and then start another one probably tomorrow, because I leave my deadline stupidly close. I'm not sure what book I'm going to read after I finish The Darkest Rising. I'm probably going to be dipping into my book lottery again, or the Little Slips of Opportunity. I realised that the majority of the books I read this month have been 4 stars. That's mostly because I've been reading books that I'm pretty certain that I would love, and that have been given to me and recommended to me. So I think they were always going to be higher starred anyway. But you know, that's a good thing. I like being positive, I like enjoying books, and I've read some really good stuff, and some stuff I probably wouldn't have normally read, particularly Cinder. I probably wouldn't have read that and loved it so much. Oh my god, I'm really excited to start a new book. So I might have to read Scarlet next. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give my blog a visit if you're looking for something a bit more detailed. If you would like to see more of what I do, hit subscribe. I hope you had a good reading month in April and that you're going to have another great one in May. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.